How does this week feel? Like, how do you put all this together?
Man, it's just the only way to get through it. I mean, it's like full afterburners on, right? So the only way to get through it is to just look at what's the next thing in front of you. So until SmackDown's done, and then it's like all eyes on WrestleMania. It's kind of the way it goes.
And then when you walk in the building, where does it go from there?
Man, so when I get to a place like WrestleMania, I always like to walk out before it's open to the public, to walk out and see everything, because I don't want to be, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be like totally amazed when I'm walking out to fight, right? Yeah. So I try to go out there, but it never does it justice for when the place is filled with fans and the energy. It's there's nothing like it.
Is there a moment in your WWE career where you went, oh man, like this is happening for real now?
I think, you know what? I think when I had the NXT title and we did that Invasion for Survivor Series, and I was in the ring, and Bayley was already made her entrance, and then Becky came out to make her entrance, and everybody was like singing her song, and I remember like for a hot second I was like not in it. I was like observing it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, holy smokes, this is it. Like, I think probably that's the first moment I was like, whoa.
Did you ever think growing up that WWE was going to be the avenue for you?
Honestly, it wasn't. Not in the way you would think, because I don't know, women's wrestling was in a different place.
Sure.
And I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be a manager. I didn't want to even with girls like Trish and Lita in the Attitude Era, they were wrestling more, but it still wasn't like my flavor. Yeah. Obviously they're awesome. I'm not saying I didn't like what was going on, just couldn't see myself there. Yeah. But I think when I started doing martial arts and then watching like Japanese style pro wrestling, and I was like, oh man, now this is crazy.
Yeah. Was there someone in Japan that you were like, oh my gosh, I love the way they work?
Yeah, like Akira Hokuto and Manami Toyota, legends. But Akira Hokuto, I believe, was like a judoka. So I think like I don't know, man, just seeing those girls like smack each other for real, it's how we wrestle now.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it wasn't happening over here yet in the United States. So I think like once I started seeing more of that, it was like NXT started kind of doing that. I was like, oh my, this is it, man. This is cool. So then it was more of a goal like in recent history rather than like when I was growing up.
Yeah. What's this shirt, by the way?
It's a classic comic.
That's great.
I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to tell you who wins, but It's a classic comic. You got to pick it up. You can get reprints if you're not into like collecting.
Well, I hope that you enjoy your WrestleMania weekend, that you take a chance to just kind of take it all in here.
Yeah, man.
I should have been doing this earlier, but I always end my normal long podcast interviews asking about gratitude. So what are 3 things in your life you're grateful for right now?
I am grateful. Man, I'm grateful, firstly, I'm sure you'll have this answer a lot, but that I get to do this. Yeah. This is like a dream life.
Yeah,
having this as a job.
You get to do it, yeah.
Like, people save up for the year to do WrestleMania week. This is my job, is to be at WrestleMania week. It's crazy. So firstly that. Secondly, that my family, and I'll even narrow it down and say, namely my nieces, my 3 nieces, are young enough to like love wrestling the way, I don't know how to word it. They believe in wrestling.
They see it through a child's eye.
Yeah. But they're old enough to understand that I am a wrestler.
Yeah.
That's so cool to me, just seeing like on their faces and even kind of tapping their brain because they watch wrestling different.
Yeah, okay.
Like just be watching with them and they'll be like, hey, Shayna, why didn't she do this? And I'm like, I don't know, actually. And so just seeing it through their eyes, and then like, is this lame to say that I'm thankful for my dog? I have the best dog in the world.
Fantastic. What's your dog's name?
Her name is Dionysus. We call her Isis for short. But we call her Isis Puppy.
Okay.
so that people don't think we're running down the street chasing her or yelling, Isis! So like, puppy! Isis puppy! But she is the best dog in the world. You go on my Instagram, you'll see.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.